Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of Chamber Chats. I am your host, Alfie Rowley, and today we have a very special guest joining us. Having consulted in two of Australia's largest banks, she grew tired of seeing unhappy, frustrated clients. Mortgages aren't that difficult, you just need the people who care. Please join me with a warm welcome to Melissa Wright, Director and Principal Mortgage Broker of Zest Mortgage Solutions. Welcome, Melissa.
Thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Thank you so much.
Good to hear. So could you tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey within Zest?
Yeah, sure. So we opened Zest almost 4 years ago now. Like you said, worked in a couple of banks and just decided that potentially we could do it a little bit different, a little bit better. And here we are 4 years later with a business that we're super proud of and loving the work that we do.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what is your business? What's the main service that you provide?
Yeah, sure. So we're a residential mortgage brokerage. So we provide assistance to clients purchasing properties, refinancing, seeking finance with a residential security for any purposes, really. As a mortgage broker, we're a middleman. So we sit in between the bank and the client to provide the best solution.
Fantastic. So you are the founder of Zest. What made you decide to start your own business?
There's a couple of things there. So I purchased my first property when I was 18. We utilised a mortgage broker at that point in time and it was a terrible experience. Again, I felt like there could have been more assistance, more education and more support through that process. And over above that, as I said, I worked in a couple of banks and I didn't like being dictated to around how I could support my clients. Right. And I just needed more options. I worked in one bank that had one product and one solution. We now have almost 60 lenders on panel, so we've got lots of options and lots of solutions. Oh,
that's fantastic. I know it's going to be a very popular thing at the moment as well because of the current state of the economy, really. But as well, you started your business in 2020, which was a very difficult year. What were the challenges that you found starting up your own business?
So obviously we started the business and 2 or 3 months later COVID hit, so that had challenges within itself. Over and above that, we had 2 younger children at that point in time. The economy was in a bit of an unusual state, an unexpected state, and the future was most certainly unknown at that point in time as well. Lots of challenges, but I think we were very lucky to be in the industry that we're in during that period of time.
Did you say there were your challenges with overcoming them? Was there any particular plan for that at all, or was it just kind of on the go, on the fly?
Look, I've predominantly winged it in business, if I'm very honest. Ultimately in this industry, you have to be a problem-solving sort of person. So we have been able to solve multiple problems throughout the process, but no great plan, just kind of attacked each challenge as it arose. I
like it, kind of taking it as it goes is the best way to do it. So was there a point where you felt like the business would not succeed to the point that you wanted it to?
Look, being a business owner, you have ups and downs all the time. Even 4 years later with this amazing business, I have moments where I go, are we actually doing the right thing? Are we going to fail? During that period of time in the early stages of COVID, the entire industry was most certainly in just the unknown state. We had some personal stuff going on at the same time. We had a son in hospital and it was just a lot of unknowns and a lot of concerns and most certainly a lot of points in time where I considered maybe going and getting a job again.
Right, okay. So did you feel like there was a setback that caused disruption to the start of the business?
Is there a particular setback? Multiple setbacks. I think you tend to make a lot of mistakes. As a business owner, you can make a lot of mistakes. I've got a lot of experience in finance. I've worked in finance since I left school pretty much, but running a business is something that I have zero experience in. Being a leader is something I have zero experience in. So potentially kind of getting to the point where I needed staff was most certainly one of the biggest challenges and one of the things I just didn't know how to do.
Right, okay. But what would you say is the most innovative thing about your business?
Look, the finance industry as a whole is still very much behind the times. I think we could do a lot more. We have most certainly embraced a lot of technology, which is needed in the current climate. I guess sending our business out or potentially our business stands out to a certain extent because we have ongoing support, which is not common in our industry.
Right,
so
okay.
we now have a full-time staff member who provides ongoing maintenance for our clients.
Fantastic.
Yeah, ensuring that not just initially but for the term of the loan they continue to have the best options and rates available.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your intuitive introduction into your business, Zest Mortgage Solutions. And how you got started. We have so many more exciting questions, but before we dive into it, we will actually take a little bit of a break. When we return, Melissa is going to give us the scoop into opening a business with the effect of the COVID-19 pandemic. Don't miss this important story and important advice. So stay tuned, and we will see you soon here on Chamber Chats. Welcome back to Chamber Chats. In our previous segment, we had the pleasure of speaking with Melissa Wright, a mortgage broker for Zest Mortgage Solutions, about her vast knowledge and experience in the field. Now, in this segment, we will discuss how she faced the COVID-19 pandemic and what impact that had on her business. Welcome back, Melissa. Thank you very much for joining us. So, how did the COVID-19 pandemic impact your business?
Look, we were very lucky in our industry, being in the finance and property industry. Obviously, that industry boomed throughout the COVID period. I think the biggest challenges were at the start with the uncertainty, but once we got past the uncertainty and understood that things could still move on in our world, we were just able to then figure out how we utilised technology to avoid the need to do the things of like seeing people face to face and those sort of things. Yeah,
it was certainly a hugely different time for all of us. But what would you say was the first challenge that you faced because of the pandemic?
Yeah, so pre-pandemic there was most certainly a requirement that we identified clients face-to-face. So that had to change very, very quickly, and in our world things don't change particularly quickly. There's regulatory requirements and then there's bank requirements and then there's technology requirements. So trying to make those things happen in a very quick process needed to happen so that we could still run business and do business and deal with clients.
100%. So were there any major changes that you had to make to your business to keep it running through the pandemic?
I think embracing technology was the really key thing. So all of a sudden we've had staff all working in the one space, and you can use like telecommunication from the one space, and then we're kind of having to move people from home, speak to people at home, have staff answering phones from home, upgrade people to laptops so that they can work from home as well. So the tech side of things we had to embrace very quickly.
100%. So were you able to, because of that, change to completely online, or did you still kind of keep an in-person but very far distance in-person interaction with the clientele?
Yeah, sure. So I think it changed a lot of mindsets, both between our industry as well as our clients. And clients are really comfortable in working with us through the likes of Zoom or something along those lines these days. We offer face-to-face meetings these days. I think more and more clients are opting to utilise a Zoom style of a meeting, though. It's just more convenient.
Okay, so it's kind of a kickstart of the future almost of meeting with business, but obviously there were huge struggles with the pandemic and the lockdowns in particular. Did the government support your business during this?
There was most certainly a lot of assistance available in the market. Again, we were one of the lucky ones in that world, so we were very lucky to not necessarily have any sort of financial downturn in our business because the industry grew. So we didn't require government assistance, but the government most certainly did provide a lot of assistance to businesses, and many of our small business clients did take advantages of those assistances.
Right, okay. So how did you have a particular strategy on maintaining your clientele during this time?
I think we just needed to care during that time more than anything. A lot of people were just struggling with the uncertainty, so we just needed to put a lot of things aside and let people know that we were there for them, and be available to talk and be available to help where we possibly could.
Right, okay. And of course you were talking about the technological advancements also, almost with that the pandemic brought along. Would you say there are any long-term changes that occurred because of it?
Most certainly the ID requirement has significantly changed, and that most certainly changes business. So we've historically always met people face to face, so that really only allows you to work with clients that live within a certain vicinity of where your business is run. Now that has opened up, we work with clients all over Australia and some international clients as well.
Right, okay, international too. That's very good for a Australian and local business as well. So. What would you say is the biggest thing that you learned throughout this very unknown, uneasy time?
Resilience. You absolutely need to be resilient, and you need to be willing to change and make change and adapt to change very, very quickly.
100%, 100%. Well, COVID was a terrifying time for us all. I know I was finishing high school at that time, so I did all of my exams and lectures online, which is still carried out today in universities and high schools and all of that. But look, it sure was a very scary time for us all. It was something that felt like it would really last forever, to be completely honest. And it's with us just kind of now getting more back to the normality of things. It feels like we didn't almost have that 3-year pandemic, or it feels like it was very far away. But thank you so much for sharing your experience during what could be one of the hardest times the world and certainly Australia has been through. But yes, without further ado, we shall be back here very soon on Chamber Chats. We are back here on Chamber Chats with our very final segment. Now, Melissa, given the background history on your business, and look, I just wanted to change topics a little bit here and talk about the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce and your partnership with them. Now, you are a local business owner. We're curious, how did you find the commerce and how being a member has benefited your business?
Yeah, sure. So I was referred to the Chamber through a friend of mine who is another small business owner. Look, being a part of that community has been incredible for my business. I've built networks from there, I've built business relationships from there, and it's most certainly given us a community of people, of like-minded people who have similar challenges and similar businesses, and then we can feed and work off each other.
So you said that you became aware of the Chamber of Commerce through a friend. Was it kind of a bit of an unknown going into it?
Absolutely. I'm not a natural networker, so most certainly was nervous to attend and be involved, but they're a very welcoming and exceptionally supportive group of like-minded people. Right, okay.
Would you say there was a particular drive that you had to join the Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, so look, as I mentioned, I'm not a natural networker, and in our industry we have to source business, right? So it felt like one of the paths of least resistance, where I could attend a few events and meet a few like-minded people to drum up a bit of a business in the first days.
Right, okay. So what would you say are the benefits that you found to be helpful for your business since joining the GSCC?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, look, the referral relationships is most certainly a key thing in there. Some of the other business owners in the Chamber have become some really dear friends of mine, so those relationships are really important to me as well. Right. The opportunity to attend different events is fantastic. So it is a great local chamber.
Well, we speaking of which, we did actually read that the Chamber of Commerce hosts monthly events. Is that right?
Right. That's right.
Would you say that's something that you enjoy attending? Is it beneficial to the business?
Yeah, absolutely. We don't get along to all of them. We'd get along to every 2 or 3 of them. And yeah, it's an opportunity to catch up with some people that you potentially haven't spoken to for a while, and they generally have a keynote speaker to provide differing levels of support. So yeah, absolutely, it's a great opportunity to catch up.
Right, okay. And when your business was struggling as well with the with the pandemic, did you find that the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce, did they help step in and support your business?
absolutely. I think so. So the chamber here is run very well, and there was most certainly a lot of support and advice provided through the chamber. And again, when you're going through something unknown like the pandemic, just having people that understand and are dealing with the same challenges is sometimes all the support that you need.
Right. Okay. So, would you say there's anything in particular that makes the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce different from any of the other Chamber of Commerce?
I've had some involvement with a different chamber, and look, the chamber here has a full-time staff member in it, and she does an exceptional job at running the chamber. They're also really supportive of local community and charity events, so very, very keen to give back, which is, I think, a great thing to have.
Right, of course, and of course, networking is a huge thing as part of this commerce. Have you had the opportunity to work with any other businesses within the Chamber of Commerce?
Yeah, most certainly. So probably 4 or 5 of my key referral partners I've met through the chamber. Predominantly there are other female business owners in the local community, and we kind of work with each other to talk through the challenges of being, I guess, a mum and a business owner at the same time. Yeah, that's allowed us to all grow our businesses in the same community.
Right, okay. Now, this is going to be a very broad one here,
Sure.
but overall, what are your thoughts and maybe experiences with the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce?
Look, I think it's very well run. I think it's very well organised. They've got some exceptional events on, and they've started to open up the events to different times of the day for different businesses. They've got networks and directories. No, I feel grateful to be a part of the Greater Springfield Chamber of Commerce.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, thank you so much for your time and, of course, your answers as well here on Chamber Chats. Thank you so much for coming in. That is a wrap for this episode of Chamber Chats, and I would like to give a huge thank you again to our first guest, Melissa Wright, Director and Principal Mortgage Broker of Zest Mortgage Solutions, and for sharing your insights and valuable advice with us. Until next time, be creative, think outside the box, and continue to thrive and jive in your endeavours for your business. Thank you for joining us on Chamber Chats.